Hello, everyone. Very good evening to all of you. Today, so the topic for strategy creation is straddle with trailing stop loss to cost of other open leg along with re-entry of straddle. All right. So we will be taking questions only at the end of the webinar. So let's start off by let me start off by just sharing my screen. All right. So right now, I hope my screen is visible to you all. So let us just start. I'll just admit two people more who are joining in. All right. So we will be taking questions only at the end of the webinar. So please be patient. So let us just start. So first of all, I will go to this strategy creation page. So once we come to this landing page, what we will do is we'll just name the strategy, straddle, trail or move stop loss to cost of other open leg to cost with straddle re-entry, right? With straddle re-entry. So the agenda is basically we will first sell a short straddle, then we will put 20 points stop loss for each leg through separate repair ones. All right. Then we will, once one leg stop loss is hit, we will trigger the second leg stop loss from set exit, and we will trail stop loss of the open leg cost to cost. And this will continue. This straddle will continue in loop throughout the day. Continue in loop for the rest of the day. All right. Let me just admit a few more people who are joining in. And also we will learn how to use positions detail in order to restrict the number of straddle re-entry. So for example, if you once the straddle is entered after 2 hours, if the strategy is exited completely, after that, if you want to again re-enter 2 or 3 times, then also we can do that with you by using the positions details keyword. So we will see that also. All right. So let me just save this strategy for now. Great. Every time, remember that any changes you make, always make sure to save the strategy, because or else the data or the formulas that you have put may go. Okay. All right. So first of all, let us now go to the first set where we will simply sell the straddle. All right. So what I will do is I will select time NSE is, say, suppose greater than equal to number. If I want to take entry at 9:17, then I will just put 9:17 as the time. And one more condition we will put, that I will take entry only before 3 p.m. All right. So what we will do is we will just simply copy this. Time is less than equal to number 15. So the re-entries or whatever entries will happen will only happen between 9:17 a.m. till 3 p.m. in the afternoon. All right. After that, it will not take any entries. After this, we will also add 2 more conditions with net quantity keyword. To make sure that there are no open positions, we will use this net quantity keyword. So net quantity of traded instrument name with entry instrument underlying as Nifty Bank, BANK. You can choose the instrument that whichever you want. So for this example, we will choose Nifty Bank 1 1. All right, is equal to number. And this video will also be uploaded on our YouTube channel, so you will be able to watch this webinar later on as well. So Nifty Bank 111 is equal to 0, and also we will put one more condition that Nifty Bank 112 is also equal to 0. 112 is also equal to number 0. All right. So let me just admit a couple of more people who are joining in. All right. So once we have done this, so this is basically a simple entry criteria that we have made for the straddle that we want to enter after 9:17 a.m. and before 3 p.m. And also we will check that the first and the second leg of the entry condition, that is the call leg that we will be using, and the put leg is also equal to 0. So only when there is no open position, then only the entry will take place. All right. So this is our entry condition. And along with that, we will put our simple straddle sell condition. So sell NFO call Nifty Bank. I will put this as intraday because this is an intraday strategy. 8 a.m. strike, current week, lot says 1. So because normally in derivatives we use lots, quantity will be for shares, etc. So lot says 1 is what we will put. All right. So and we will add. All right, and close. So this is for the call option, and also we will add one more position for the put option. So that will be the straddle. NFO put Nifty Bank MIS, since it's intraday, again current week 8 a.m. lots will be 1. All right. So here we have selected one call option for selling and one 8 a.m. put option for selling. All right. So this is basically the straddle entry condition that we have created. All right. Now, so this is the basic entry condition, right? So after this, now we will put a stop loss for each leg. That is the call option and put option through this repair once conditions. All right. So we will put or use two repair once conditions, one for call option and one for put option. So the way to do it is, it's a slightly different from the normal stop losses that we put, because we have to make sure that the second leg gets exited from the set exit. All right. So what I will do is, in the repair once first leg, first, I will check whether the instrument is traded. So we will put two separate conditions. One is traded instrument, entry strike, underlying is Nifty Bank 111. So this, what this keyword does is, it checks whether the first leg, that is the call option, has been traded or not. So traded instrument entry strike 111 will check whether the call option is traded or not. Similarly, what we want to also check that the put option is traded or not. So we will put this as 112. So now once we have the confirmation that the first entry has happened, that is the call and put option have already been sold, then at the same time we want to check that the net quantity of the leg number 2. Now this is the stop loss for the call position, right? That is the first leg. So we are checking the net quantity of the second leg, that is the put option over here. So let me just check, put this Nifty Bank 112 is not equal to 0. All right. So earlier we checked that the net quantity should be equal to 0. And here we are checking that the net quantity should not be equal to 0. Because what we are trying to make sure over here is that the put option that is sold, that is currently not squared off. That means the put option position is currently open. Then only we want to trigger the stop loss of the call leg from this particular repair once, or else we will use the set exit in order to trigger the exit of this particular call leg. So here's how we will do it. So we will add one more condition, that now we will put the stop loss condition, that LTP of traded instrument name Y Bank, Nifty Bank 111, that is the call option, is greater than traded instrument price, traded instrument entry price of Nifty Bank leg number 1, condition number 1, leg number 1, set number 1, leg number 1, condition number 1, plus number 20. All right. So you can put percentage stop loss also or number wise also. But for the simplicity, we will simply put this as 20 points as the stop loss. So what we are saying is that whenever the straddle has been sold, that is leg number 1 and leg number 2 has been sold, it is already traded, and we are checking that the put position is open. All right. So that whenever the put position is open, then only we want to use this stop loss for the call option. That whenever the LTP of 111 is greater than the entry price of 111, that is the call leg, by 20 points. All right. So this is the stop loss for the call option that we have sold. So in order to over here, we will add the position of call. So what we will do is exchange NFO call Nifty Bank MIS current week. But here we will put the formula for strike, because what happens is that if the index moves by say 100 points, then ATM will be different. So we cannot choose ATM as the strike, but we will choose the strike that we have sold in the straddle at early in the morning, right? So what we will do is we will use the traded instrument keyword, traded instrument entry strike of the call leg Y Bank 111. All right. So this is basically it will basically square off the strike that has been sold in the short straddle that we initiated in entry. All right. So this is for call option, and we will select quantity as lots and 1. So this is how we put a stop loss. This is the call option stop loss that we have sold in the first entry. This is the one. So this is the repair ones that we used for this call option stop loss. Now similarly, we will use the second repair for the put position stop loss. All right. So I'll just save this again. Always remember to update the strategy after every step, because or else the data might not get saved and you will have to do this again and again. All right. So this is the first repair. After that, similarly, what we will do is we will basically just simply copy this particular position, since I don't want to actually just do this again and again. So I will just update this, and it will give me an option to copy paste. All right. So for example, I will copy this repair ones from here. I will add it over here, and I will simply paste it. So it will be the same position, but I will make certain modifications over here also. For the put position also, I want to check that the first leg and the second leg, that is the call and put, have been sold. But over here, I want to check that the call option has been is not equal to 0. So what I will do is over here I will select 111, because in the earlier repair we checked whether the put option was open or not. But since this is for put option, we are checking whether there is any call option position open or not. So if there is no call option, there is some position open on the call side, then only we want to trigger this stop loss on the put side. So what we will do is we will simply change the leg over here. So 112, because this is for the put side. So put side traded instrument LTP is greater than entry price of the put option, that is leg number 2, by number 20. So this is basically for the put stop loss. All right. So we will be revising this entire thing once the strategy is created again, so that even if you're confused right now, you will get to know whatever we have done. All right. And at the same time, we will put the stop loss for the put condition. So that will be basically a buy of put option, since we have sold it in the entry. Buy of put option, Nifty Bank. This will be MIS since it's intraday. Again, we will change this to current week, and we will use strike FX formula, because we want to refer to the strike that we have sold, not some other strike. All right. So traded instrument entry strike Nifty Bank 112. All right. So this is basically entry strike 112. That is for the put option. Again, we will select this as lots and current week. All right. So this is basically the stop loss for the put option. So this is where we sold the straddle. This is where we put the stop loss for the call option, and this is where we put the stop loss for the put option, but this is only just the one part of the stop loss. Right now, for example, if you want to basically re-enter whenever both the legs are squared off, right, then what we want to do is that the second stop loss, we will use the exit condition in order to trigger the second stop loss. So wait one. I will be taking queries at the end. So later on, I will check the chats and everything. So I will just add a new set over here. That will be a dummy set. So once we add a new set, we will get this exit option for the set one. So over here, we will add a exit condition for this set. So over here, please pay attention because this is important because we will be putting two different conditions. All right. So we'll be creating two different groups over here. I will just remove this and we will create different conditions in this case. So basically over here, we want to trigger the set exit only if one particular leg has been squared off. So what I will do is, again, I will check traded instrument, entry strike, the bank. I will also be sharing the template at the end of the this thing below the webinar video on YouTube. There will be a template link also, so you can directly copy this template also if you want to use it later on, and you can make the modification. So here I'm checking this traded instrument 111. At the same time, I will just put traded instrument 112 because we are checking whether this call and put option is traded or not, and also we will check the net quantity of traded instrument. In this case, we are checking if the put option has already been squared off. So that's the reason why what we will do is we will select 1, 1, 2 is equal to 0. Over here, we are checking that the put option has already been squared off. Then only we will trigger call option exit from this particular set is equal to number 0. All right. And now what we will do is, now since the put option has already been squared off using the repair ones with the stop loss condition, what we will do is the call option, we will move the stop loss to cost. So that is basically if you sold at 100, if the put option has already been squared off, then we want to basically make sure that the profit that is locked in the call option should be intact to cost, right? So that's the reason why we will use this formula. So LTP of traded instrument name of Y bank 111 is greater than or equal to, is greater than basically traded instrument entry price Y BANK 111. So that is it. So this is basically when the LTP is greater than the entry price of this call. So if you sold the call option at 100, if the put option has already been squared off, then instead of 20 point stop loss that we put for call option, what we want to do is we want to move the stop loss to cost. That's the reason why this is the cost price. So LTP greater than the cost price is basically trailing the stop loss to cost. So this is how we trail the call option to cost if the put leg has been squared off. Similarly, we will do this for the put side also, and that's the reason why we have created these two groups with OR condition. All right. So what I will do is simply, again, I will just copy these conditions since we have already made it over here. I will just put it over here. Traded instrument. Again, we are checking the same that, both the instruments have been traded. And over here, we will copy the net quantity, but with for a different leg is equal to number 0. But over here, we are checking that the call option has been squared off, right? So basically, what I will do is I will check whether the call option is 0. So if the call option stop loss has been triggered from repair once, then in that case, the put option, this set exit will trigger the put option stop loss through this. All right. So what we will do is, again, I will just simply copy paste this formula also. So this is how easy it is. You don't have to type this again and again once you have already typed it, and you'll have to just change the legs. Copy and paste over here. So leg number 2. And this also leg number 2. All right. So since see, as you can see over here, the what we checked over here is that the put option, that is 112, when it is squared off through repair once, then we are moving the call option stop loss, that is the 111 leg, to cost. Similarly, over here in the second group, what we are checking is that when the call option has been squared off through repair once, then the put option, that is 112 leg, is the one that we are moving to the cost price. Okay, so that is how we trail the stop loss to the cost price of each leg through set exit. All right. Now, see, the thing that I want to tell over here is that if we had not included the second set over here, right, then we would have directly had to exit the strategy from universal exit. Now, issue is that if you want to re-enter into this straddle after a universal exit, then in that case, you need to select the time over here as at least 2 minutes. So you have to wait for 2 minutes. But in this case, what will happen is that since you're triggering this set exit, what will happen is once this both legs are squared off, again automatically, since the net quantity is 0 and even the net quantity of first and the second leg will be 0, and this condition will also be true, so it will automatically again sell the straddle at that point in time. So it will be like a looping condition. So you can enter multiple times into the same straddle. All right. So that's the reason why we added another set in order to trigger extra set exit. All right. So over here, this is of no use actually. This is only to basically a dummy set in order to enable set exit. So what I will do is, since this is just a dummy set, I will simply put one dummy condition over here that, I want this to be traded, say, only on weekday 6, that is Saturday, right? So Saturday is anyway, the markets are closed, so it will not trigger anyway, right? So number. So as I mentioned, this is just a dummy set. That's the reason why we are not doing anything. We are just putting this as a random number. And also I want to put, say, time should be after 10 o'clock in the night only. NSE is greater than equal to number 22. And also I will put the condition as time is less than equal to number 2201. 01. All right. So that is basically when the markets are not at all open. So in any case, this condition will never be true. But since we have to just add another set in order to trigger the looping condition of the straddle that we have sold above, that's the reason why we are doing this. So we'll just put, say, NFO call option, NRML, current month, Nifty bank, quantity is 1, and I will just close it over here. That's the reason why we will not do anything. All right. And also we will put a set exit condition for this dummy set. We'll just copy from here. We'll just paste it with the same condition. So we'll not make any changes over here. And the universal exit, when the strategy we want to exit this particular looping condition also, right? So what we will do is in the universal exit, we will put a specific time at around 3 p.m. when we want to, say, exit the strategy. So what I will do is universal exit, since this is an intraday strategy, we will put time is greater than equal to number, say, 1501. So since in the entry condition we have used time should be less than 15, that means it will not take any entry after 3 o'clock, and at 3:01 p.m. it will automatically exit the entire strategy, even if any positions are open or not. All right, and we will set the reactivate time to 12 hours, so it will automatically get activated for the next trading day. Continuously, we will maintain the checks, and I will change this to since we are taking entry at 9:17, I will change the entry condition time, start condition check time, to just 1 minute. Because if you keep it just 10 minutes, then it will be 9:25 and it will not take the trade on time. And the last condition check can be 10, 15 minutes. That's also fine in this case. All right. And then I will just update the strategy. Now let me take you through this entire strategy once again, so you will understand what we have done so far. All right. And also I will show you how to basically, if you want to re-enter into this straddle again and again, right? So if you want to, in this case, what will happen is that every time the call and put option is squared off, it will automatically again take the trade. But we want, if you want to restrict the number of straddles that it enters during the day, then you can use the position details keyword. So the way to do it is, so I will use positions detail. If suppose this will be entry transaction or transaction sell. All right. This will be both call and put. All right. And this will be quantity. And I will select Nifty Bank. Right. Now, since if you want the entry to be just one time, all right, then no second time entry if you do not want, then what you will do is you will simply put position details, Nifty Bank sell quantity is equal to number 0. So this is basically for one time entry. All right. Now, if you want to enter into this straddle 2 times in a day, this is basically for one time entry. If you want to enter 2 times, then what you will do is you will simply change this position details to is greater than equal to number minus 50. So the logic behind this 50 is that the lot size of a bank Nifty is 25, right? So one lot of call option is basically minus 25 and one lot of put option is basically minus 25. So that total comes to minus 50. All right. So that's the reason why if you want to take entry only once, then you use position details is equal to 0. If you want to take entry only twice into this straddle, short straddle, then you put position details is greater than equal to minus 50. Then after that, if you want to take entry 3 times, then what you will do is you will change this to 100. All right. If you want to take 4 times, then you will change this to 150 and so on. So this is how you use the position details to restrict the number of times that you want to enter into this particular straddle. All right. So this is how we do it. So now I will just take you through this entire strategy that we did. So first we checked that the time should be greater than 9:17 and 3 p.m. Also the net quantity of 111 and net quantity of 112, that is leg number 1, set number 1 and condition number 1 is 0. So what we are checking over here is essentially that the time is so and so, and this particular leg, this is leg number 1, set number 1, condition number 1, that is call option. This is leg number 1, set number 1 and condition leg number 2, set number 1 and condition number 1. So this is 111, this is 112. So both this net quantity is basically initially equal to 0, and that's the reason why we are entering into this particular. I will have to mute all. Yeah. So basically, so that's when we enter into a straddle. Now we use 2 repair once conditions in order to trigger the stop loss of individual legs. So the first individual leg we are checking for the call option. So this is the stop loss of call option for 20 points. But before this stop loss of call option triggers, we are making sure that the put option is currently open. That's the reason why it's not equal to 0. That means the put option has not hit the stop loss. It is currently open. That is when we are triggering this repair one stop loss for the call option. So once this call option stop loss is triggered, and we are also checking whether the traded instrument 111 and 112 have been traded. That is leg number 1 and 2 have already entered into the strategy. All right. So once this is done, after this, we are also putting an individual stop loss to the put side. That's the reason why we selected strike FX as entry strike 111. This is the call option strike that we traded in the entry. And similarly, for the put option side, what we did was we checked whether the call option is currently open. That we are, if the call option stop loss has hit already, then we will exit this particular leg from the set exit. But since it is already open, that's the reason why we are putting individual stop loss to the put side, that it should trigger only when the stop loss moves, when the price moves by higher by 20 points for the put side. That is 112. All right. And after that, we will also put the position that, this particular strike, that is the strike that we entered for the put option, is the one that we are squaring off. So that is how we put the individual stop loss for the call and put side. And then in the set exit, we are doing exactly the opposite. That once the 112, that is the put option, is squared off via repair once, then we are moving the stop loss of the call sold call option to cost. That's the reason why LTP is greater than the cost price or around that price, then automatically this particular leg will exit. So you will not face loss on the other leg. Similarly, if the call option has already been sold off, that is basically the through repair from 111, then we are checking that the put option stop loss is moved to cost. So LTP is greater than the entry price of the put side. So that is how we put the, we trail the stop loss to the cost. And again, when both of these legs get exited, right? Now, since this condition will be true, the entry condition, it will again take re-entry. How many times? In this case, it will be 4 times, as we discussed, because we have put the position detail. If you put position details as 0, it will take entry only once. And using this formula that we discussed, you can automatically increase the number of times and restrict the number of times you want to enter into the straddle during the day. After this, what will happen is that now the second set that we have created is, as it is dummy, this is not going to take trade anyway, because the weekday is equal to 6 is Saturday, and it's at 10 o'clock when the markets are not open at all. So this is just for the dummy purpose that we created this set. So we have to ignore that. And we have to make sure that the universal exit is happening at 3 o'clock. So 1 p.m. the strategy will be exited. Automatically after 12 hours, that is for the next day, the strategy will again reopen, and automatically it will start taking the trades at 9:17. Since we have put the start condition check after exchange openness 1 minute, and the last condition check, that is 3:15, it will stop checking for the condition. All right. So this is how we basically create a strategy. Now, if you have any doubts related to how the strategy is created on Tradetron, etc., then this is our Tradetron YouTube channel. So similar to this, all the previous videos that we have created on Tradetron are already available in this. So for example, these are the previous sessions of 40-50 minutes. Every Friday we have this strategy creation sessions. So you will find these videos over here. You can watch these strategy creation videos on different topics that will help you out to create strategy on Tradetron. At the same time, we also have a keyword documentation that is available at the bottom of the page. I will first update this strategy and save it. So at the bottom of the page, you will find there is keyword documentation in resources. So all of the keywords that we use, right, in order to create a particular strategy, all of those keywords, how to use a particular keyword, all of those examples are available over here. And with their explanation, so how to use position Bollinger Bandwidth, or if you want to use, say, Dema, or any keyword that you want to use, right, EMA, super trend, etc. All of those examples are available over here. You can watch this and you can create your strategies. All right. So all of those details are available over here. And also, if you want to learn more about the Tradetron and things like that, then also we have this TT University. TT Uni. So over here we have launched certain courses also. Advanced strategy building courses are available. So you can just navigate through this particular page, and if you're interested in one of the courses about advanced strategy building, etc., then all of the courses are available over here. So if you are interested, you can go through this as well. So all of those resources are available over here. And at the same time, if you have any doubts, you can get in touch with us through this particular chat box. We are available from 9 a.m. till 12 o'clock in the night on live chat. At the same time, if you want, you can also contact us on this particular number. So on the contact details, you will find this number. This is our call center number. You can contact us on that from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And also you can raise a support ticket and we will be able to address your queries on support. So this is how we work on strategies. So if you have any questions now, I'm open to questions. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes. Hi. How did you, I mean, I didn't get the exit condition wherein you adjusted the trailing stop loss.
Yeah.
For let's say that call stop loss has been triggered and call has been exited. Correct. After that, how are you shifting the price for the put?
Yeah. So the put side, right? So over here, no. So this is basically we are checking that, the call, the call option and put option has been traded, right?
Right.
After that, you're checking that net quantity of 111 is 0. So 111 is 0 means what? That means the call option has got a square up, right?
Yes.
Correct. So this LTP is greater than equal to, so when the call option stop loss is hit, that means this call option has moved, say from 100 to 120, correct?
Okay.
If the call option is moved from 100 to 120, if the put option and the call option both were sold at 100, correct? So if the call has moved from 100 to 120, that means the put option would have moved from 100 to 80 or somewhere down.
Right.
Correct. So the cost is what? 100, right?
Right.
Correct. So now if the cost moves of the put option moves back from 90 rupees to again 100 rupees or higher, that is when you want to exit that put, right?
Okay.
Correct? So LTP, that is the current price of put, when it is greater than the traded instrument entry price, that is 100 rupees.
Okay.
That is when you will trigger basically the exit of the put option. Correct.
Okay.
Similarly for the call option also, we are
Hmm.
checking that the put option has already been squared off through
Right.
the repair once. That's the reason why whenever that has happened, then we are checking that the call option, when it moves again to the cost price, we will exit that over here. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. So that is how we trail the stop loss basically.
But how
Super.
is it exiting? Like, how is the function? I mean, we are not.
So this is
We are
set
putting
exit, right? So this
we
is
are
set
put-
exit, right?
Acha, acha, acha. Okay.
So,
Okay. So exit
this
is
is for
just.
repair one. Yeah. So this
Got
is
it. Got
basically
it.
set exit. So since we are putting this condition in set exit, that's the reason why it will trigger whichever leg is open in this particular set. So one leg is already squared off from this repair. Correct. Either and then we are triggering the set exit so that whichever is the open leg in this set, it will trigger through this set exit. And automatically, since the quantity is again zero, it will automatically start taking the trade from here. That you know what, if you don't put position detail, then it will re-enter into that straddle again.
Okay. Regarding this position detail, like how have you? I mean, let's say that if I wanna trade 4 times, then you put this condition, right?
Correct. Right.
Greater than or equal to minus
150. So that's
150.
basically lot size, right? So that's the reason why I explained it. So basically, if you take entry first time, then it will be 0. Correct. If you want to take entry,
No. This itself I'm not getting. Can you explain the function?
Right.
The position detail function, if you can explain.
Yeah. So position detail restricts the number of entries. So it checks the quantity, number of times it has been traded. This particular sold quantity of Nifty Bank is how much. So if it is 0, that means it will take entry 1 time. So once it is already entered, then automatically it will not be 0, right? That means it's already minus 50 is the quantity, right? So when it's minus 50 is the quantity, that means it will not enter again. Okay, so that's the reason why it will restrict to 0 when it is 0. So now if you want to take entry 2 times, then we will change this to quantity as 50 because we are checking that, first it has entered when the quantity was 0, again it has entered, but still the quantity is minus 50. It has not gone beyond that.
So how is it? How is the number of times it is traded? How is that getting updated?
So that's the number of lot size, right? So basically, sell entry position. Here we have selected entry sold S, okay, and quantity and Nifty Bank. Over here we are checking all. We are not checking only for call and put. If we select only call, then but all is basically 50 quantity, 25 quantity of
I
call.
get that. But that's not my question. What I'm trying to ask is, let's say that I traded once, first time.
Correct,
okay.
Right.
Then this number, like greater than equal to minus 50, the number part. Okay. How is that getting? Like, how is the algo keeping track of how many times I have taken?
So that is calculated at the back end, right? So basically, once you have entered this position detail, this will store the value that this strategy, while entering, it has already entered into so and so quantity. So that's automatic process. So that's how it's calculating the quantity at the back end. So once you have entered the position detail, will automatically store the value of 50.
So the positions detail is calculating that how many times.
Yes. This keyword is calculating that. Yeah.
Okay. And what's the difference? Last question. What's the difference between repair once and repair continuous?
So repair continuous is basically if you want to enter into this again and again, right? Then in that case, for example, repair once is basically it will trigger only once. So once there is entry, okay. After that there is repair once, and then after that there should be a set exit or universal exit. Because this repair once will not trigger again, because this triggers only once. All right, that's the reason why the name is given as repair once. Repair continuous is basically when if you want to sell this again and again, this particular repair, right? If there is a price moves to certain level, then again if you want to trigger this again and again, then that is the one that you have to use. But the issue with that is sometimes in that case you have to make sure that the net quantity that is there should be the number should be put in such a manner that it should not create any issues. Because if you do not calculate the number properly over here, then it will go into loop. Because repair continuous, what it will do is it will check that the quantity is not equal to 0 or is equal to 0, and automatically it will continuously keep on selling. So there is a risk involved in that. Okay.
It will continuously keep on buying, right? Not selling.
Buying or selling. Yeah. In this case, yes. In this case, it will keep on buying the.
Okay.
Yeah,
Understood.
Okay. So that's the difference between repair once and repair continuous. This will happen only once, and repair continuous will happen again and again. But in order to avoid using repair continuous, we are using this particular format. What we are doing is entry is from here, then we are triggering repair once, and we are exiting from set exit, because that will help us to enter into this straddle again, but the cycle will be complete. Because what happens is that when you're using repair once, right? Once the repair once is triggered, again the entry might happen, but the repair once will not be triggered because this will not, the cycle will not be complete unless the set exit is triggered.
Got it.
So that's the reason why it has to move in this particular cycle. That is the reason why I've created this template. I will be sharing this video as well as this template on a YouTube channel, and you can download this template. So that is, so you will not have any confusions according to that. All right.
So once the set exit is the set exit is done, is executed, then the algo by default assumes that if still the entry conditions are met, then it will enter again.
Yes. So basically what it will check is the net quantity is 0, right? So once the call and put option are against this thing, 0, it's sold off. That means the net quantity is 0. So it will enter again into
so how can I keep a cooling period if, let's say, once the set is complete, like entry, stop loss, whatever, exit, and then I want a cooling period of 5 minutes, and after that entry is triggered?
Then in that case, you have to use the other option that we have, right? So basically, instead of this repair set exit, you remove this set number 2. You use the universal exit for that, okay? And then using repair universe, over here you have the time exit, time, right? Reactivate after 5 minutes, okay? So basically, when you are exiting through universal exit, you have that cooling period time over here. So you can choose 5 minutes, after which you want to re-enter into this particular straddle.
Okay.
Got it. So, but in this case, the reason why we have made this setup is because we want to immediately enter. If you want a cooling period, then you will use the universal exit, and you will use this particular time in order to basically trigger the re-entry. Okay.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. All right. Okay. I think we are done with this. Because I don't think we have much time. Yeah. Okay. All right. Please go ahead. I have like 2-3 minutes more.
Yeah. Can you explain the conditions, because I didn't understand? So you're saying set 1, condition 1, leg 1, right?
Yeah. Okay.
When does the condition change to 2? For example.
Yeah. So in this case, right? So for example, this is set number 1. Okay. This is entry. Okay. This is entry, leg number 1. And
leg understood. Number 2. I'm talking only about the condition. So when
condition, so this is basically repair once condition number 1. Okay. And this is repair once condition number repair once 2. Okay.
No. Can you click on the edit, please?
Yeah. So this one, edit. Okay. So yeah. Okay. I will just click on this.
Yeah. Can you click on anything? Yeah.
Okay. Trade instrument. So
now when you say condition number,
correct. So so I'll tell you that. So okay, so this is a condition entry, right? So if I choose this entry repair into repair once, if I change this, okay. So this repair once is basically, this is the first repair once, set number 1, leg number, condition number 1. This is repair once condition number 1. Okay. And
which one is this condition number 1? Is not.
This is condition. This is repair once condition number 1.
No, under condition. So if under the condition itself we have 2-3 groupings you made, and or if we are constructing.
No, right? So this condition is basically, see this. I will just explain this.
So when that condition will go to 2 is my question.
Yeah. So this is basically repair once condition number 1, and this is repair once condition number 2.
Okay, so this is repair 1 condition number 2.
2, yes. So repair 1's condition number 2. If you want to check this particular,
when will you get set number 1 and condition number 2?
Yeah. So if I add another set, this is set number 1, right? If I add this is repair 1, set number 1, condition number 1. Okay. Set number 1,
set
repair
number
1.
2, right?
This is set. Sorry. Yeah. Correct. This is set number 2, condition number. Repair once condition number 1. Okay.
So I'm asking when that condition will go to 2.
So this repair, no, if I add this and another repair over here, this will be repair once condition number 2.
Okay, so only the repairs will have condition change, not the
correct, right? Not the entry, because see over here, if you add 2 more conditions, right? So this is basically entry. This is leg number 1, leg number 2. I can add
that I understand.
Yeah, so that will be addition of legs. That will be not addition of conditions, but condition will be added for repair once. Okay. This is repair once condition number 1, repair once condition number 2. Similarly, this will be set number 2, repair once condition number 1 for set number 2. Okay. Set number 1, condition number 1, and this is set number 2, condition number 1,
and the
and
second
set
one
number
is
2, condition number 2. That's it.
Okay, because I was thinking even the entry sets will have, because you were writing time is greater than a lesson, so that I thought it is conditions.
No, not for time. So time is separate only for traded instrument keyword, right? This keyword. This is where we use the leg numbers and things like that for repair, etc. Okay.
And once we update or do any changes, and once we have deployed, correct?
Right.
Now, once we have deployed, then again, if I want to edit something, for some reason it didn't trigger and I did some mistake and I came back and I updated something. Will that get reflected?
Yeah, normally it gets reflected, but there is a caveat to that. So there is a risk involved that sometimes the server, if it's not capturing the changes that you have made, right? Like for example, if you made the changes, the stop loss from say 20 points to 30 points, and if you update the strategy, ideally it will take that into the live already entered position. But what we recommend is that always make sure that whatever changes you want to make, right, you make it before deploying the strategy. Or else what you can do is you can just simply square off the positions and make the changes in the strategy and redeploy it again. Because when you're
from the deployed, I cannot edit anything.
No. So for example, if this is the deployed strategy, right? Deployed page, correct?
Yeah. So my question is, in the deployed, if I do any edit, will it get updated also in the strategies?
You mean no, this is basically the edit. No, this is the page that you're talking about. This is the same page. No, this is the edit strategy page of the strategy. If you make any changes over here, yes. If you update it, it should be ideally reflected in the strategy.
In the strategy as well as in the deployed, right?
Yes, but yes, strategy as well as in this deployed calculation. But the thing is, there is a risk involved. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That what, if there is some server issue, then the actually entered strategy might not calculate it. So we recommend that, if you, before moving to edit, right, make sure that these positions are exited pair of this position, then make the changes and redeploy the strategy. Okay. So then it will take all the fresh calculations properly then.
And sometimes we have to search for some strategies, right? With the SID ID. How do I search with the SID ID?
So yeah, so basically, so over here, if you go to deployed, right, this is the SID.
Correct.
This is the SID number. So basically, if you want to check any strategy, so you don't have to check through that. So it is basically for the Tradetron team to check the SID and according to check.
So sometimes we get confused which one we deployed, which one we didn't test, but with the ID.
So from here only we will be, the only way to identify from the deployed page is this. This is the SID.
But I will not be able to search with that ID is what you're saying.
No, yeah. So you'll not be able to search. That's right. So you'll have to basically, if there are multiple strategies, then you'll have to navigate from this page. That's it.
And in the back testing, right, once we have submitted some codes we develop and we put it in back testing, it does not start the back testing. After some time we come to know, okay.
Yeah, so basically, for the back test, the thing is it's in the beta mode currently. So that's it takes about 24 to 48 hours for the back test.
No, I'm not talking about the time. What I'm saying is we will not know whether we did a mistake in creating the strategy. That time the back testing itself has not triggered. It has not generated any report after 2-3 days also.
So
then we realize that we have done some error in the code. Okay.
Yeah, so in that case, we can trigger, we can basically credit you the strategies, the backtest. At the same time, yes, we can credit that. Also, there is this blog on Tradetron, all right? So all about backtest. So you can refer to this blog and check under what conditions backtest will work and it will not work. And we will also,
how do I contact somebody, because I did some mistakes.
So you have this, so you can contact us on our live chat support, right? Just mention that backtest ID. And then our team will credit back the backtest to you.
Okay, and how many days should it be back? Any conditions? Because even last.
So backtest should be completed in 48 hours. If it takes more than that, then you will have to contact the customer.
No, that is not a concern. Actually, Tradetron is good in that. But only my question is regarding it is not triggered and my backtest count is going down. So.
Yeah, so basically we can credit back the backtest to you, man. That's not an issue.
So I have to just put a chat with support thing.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
My question is not answered.
Sorry?
My question is not answered.
So which is your question?
Can I make a strategy for Connor?
I've mentioned it. So this particular keyword, right? That's what I just replied to you, sir. That this particular keyword is, I think, not available as of now. So we will have to check that. So you can write a mail to support@tradetron.tech and we will reply to you when it will be available. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.